Good evening, Walt Whitman. It is a beautiful Thursday evening, June 4th, 2020, and we are moments away from our next live virtual launch of one of our award ceremonies.
It's important to know that we've been really happy about the way this has come out and what our virtual ceremonies have done. We've been able to connect with our students and staff as well as parents and showcase some wonderful, talented individuals that we're sad to see go, but know we're going to expect so much more from them as we move on.
Tonight are the Michael S. Curtin Awards, and don't forget we will be pushing this out on YouTube right now, but all the parents will also be receiving an email with a link so that you can keep this as a keepsake.
It's important. This is a special award because obviously Michael S. Curtin, who was a community member and passed away at 9/11. This really showcases not only our students who are academics, but also showcases the good students, the good that students have within themselves, and how people have noticed what they've done throughout their 4 years here at Walt Whitman High School to make this a better place. So we hope you enjoy. We're looking forward to seeing you in person, but until that time, please enjoy our virtual Michael S. Curtin's Award, courtesy of Walt Whitman High School.
Congratulations.
Hi, I'm Board of Education President Nicholas Ciapetta. Michael S. Curtin was an American patriot. On September 11, 2001, Sergeant Curtin tragically perished during the rescue effort at the World Trade Center. This award, named in his honor, recognizes those students who have displayed exemplary citizenship, empathy, and strong character during their time at Walt Whitman High School. This award is always considered one of the most prestigious honors that a Whitman student can obtain because of Sergeant Curtin's valor and courage. But the events surrounding this year's ceremony make it take on an even greater importance. In the past weeks, we have seen so many selfless acts and compassionate gestures, especially from our first responders who have risked everything for perfect strangers. I know this time has been especially difficult on each of you, as events and traditions that you have waited years for have either been canceled or dramatically altered. Our seniors, however, have demonstrated such class and understanding in the face of disappointment. You truly represent the finest of the South Huntington community. I want each of you to know how proud the Board of Education is of the class of 2020, and that we wish you nothing but the best. Once again, congratulations on receiving this special award recognizing a true hero. I now want to introduce your fantastic principal, Mr. John Murphy, to announce the Michael S. Curtin Citizenship Award recipients.
Hello and welcome to our virtual Michael Curtin Award celebration, acknowledging and identifying students for their dedication to Walt Whitman and the impact they have had on both students and staff during their 4 years here. Some of you may ask who Michael Curtin is. He is all of you. He believed in the same ideals and lived as an example of the attributes about to be mentioned. His decision to give his own life on September 11, 2001 was a testament to the courage and belief in helping others in times of need. Michael paid the ultimate price, and for this we honor him while paying tribute to the achievements of our students before us. I am blessed to be able to speak at this event and recognize our outstanding students. One of my favorite aspects of this award ceremony is the opportunity to acknowledge the talents and strengths of these young men and women and how they have shaped the face of Walt Whitman High School. I've had the privilege to get to know these students over the last 4 years, and I have seen firsthand the random acts of kindness towards their fellow classmates, words of encouragement, and self-sacrifice they have shown to ensure that the ones around them are successful. Words like empathy, compassion, encouragement are truly second nature to these fine young men and women. These students encompass all walks of life here at Walt Whitman High School and are the best and brightest that we have to offer. They give us hope that the future is bright. In a world where negativity and discord can be an everyday message shared on news and social media outlets, these shining stars before give us the hope. This has especially been tested this year given the current coronavirus epidemic. Despite the challenges before them, they have continuously found ways to connect and inspire with the people around them. It is ceremonies such as these that pay tribute to those efforts and give us as parents and teachers a chance to say thank you. Thank you for never quitting on yourself. Thank you for giving us the chance to watch you grow and mature. Thank you for never quitting. Thank you for making our school and our community such a special place. Individually and collectively, the students we honor today embody our school's mission to make the world a better place through our ideas, our innovations, and our encouragement. Please join me in acknowledging all of our outstanding students, as well as the parents and teachers who have guided and supported them. Congratulations to all our honorees, and best wishes for a much continued success.
Carmela Abatello, nominated by Ms. Hirsch-Beckman and Mr. Toohey. Ms. Hirsch-Beckman writes, Carmela may be small, but has the biggest heart. She is the kind of person who always wants to do good for others. She participates both in Natural Helpers and Ambassadors Clubs, and her mission is to always help those in need. She will be missed presence here at Whitman.
Isabella Adamovitz, nominated by Mr. Bearline. He has known Isabella since 9th grade global history class. Not only did she excel in global, but she also excelled in his senior economics class. Her positive attitude and hard work were a delight to be around, and he has no doubt that success is in her future. As Mr. Bearline says, Bella is one of those students who you know you'll just miss.
Brandon Aguilar, nominated by Mr. Pipolo. He states, Brandon is an intelligent and confident man. He added something bold or humorous every day in English class. He engaged in poems and stories and inspired others to engage, taking academic and creative risks. Brandon is always respectful and purposeful. Humor and intelligence, two very solid human characteristics.
Miriam Ahmad. According to Mr. Bearline, it has been a pleasure getting to know Miriam her last year at Whitman. I only wish I had the chance to spend more time in the classroom with her because she loves to participate and express her opinions on topics that are important to her. She shows a desire to do her best in class, and that best proves to be outstanding. She is someone Mr. Bearline will miss.
Emily Alfaro Benitez, nominated by Mr. Miranda. Mr. Miranda states, Emily's calm, cool, and collected demeanor is always appreciated. She is mature beyond her years. Emily acts as a role model to all those around her, both in and out of the classroom. Congratulations, Emily, on receiving this well-deserved award, as Mr. Miranda states.
Priscilla Alonso, nominated by Mr. Pipolo. Priscilla instantly caught his attention with a powerful and unique poetic voice. According to Mr. Pipolo, she wrote of what she loved and cared about for her disappointments and her fears. Priscilla has a humble and quiet demeanor and is a listener. She let her creation speak. Her observations and the poems she wrote and shared helped so many of her peers.
Cindy Alvarez-Garay, nominated by Mr. Layer. Mr. Layer says Cindy is a dedicated student who works to her full potential. Cindy will advocate for herself and help others along the way. This is one of the biggest reasons that she is such a pleasure to have in class and deserving of this award.
Yagmer Aikenot, nominated by myself, Mr. Varlamos. Yagmer is the epitome of a good citizen at our school. and mostly for the simple ways that mean so much. She greets you in the hall with a fun smile and a humorous wave that, no matter what your day is like, make you smile and warm your heart. And since recent events have put such tremendous limits on social interaction, Yagber's small deeds are missed so very much more. Society has to open back up soon so that the Yagbers of the world can get out there and get back to warming our hearts every day.
Aiden Aziz, nominated by Miss Moss. Aiden strives to achieve his absolute best in all he does and is respectful and compassionate to whom all he encounters with. He is dedicated to his academic achievement and is trustworthy, dependable, and honest. Aiden has a relaxed nature about him and is optimistic about his future. Best of luck to him next year at SUNY Farmingdale.
To me, great citizenship means being a person that sets a positive example for our community. Someone who treats people with kindness and respect, supports and helps people in any way they can, and lifts people up. The best citizens of our South Huntington community are those that inspire others to believe in themselves and to be fabulous. You should be proud of receiving this award because you exemplify great citizenship.
Matthew Bradbury, nominated by Miss Henselder. Miss Henselder writes, Matt is one of the most good-natured and kind students she has ever had the pleasure to teach. His easygoing manner in class was evident as he established bonds with students who did not easily or comfortably assimilate. He is respectful, polite, humble, and hardworking, a role model to his peers.
Naira Chowdhury, nominated by Mr. Pipolo and Ms. Papiano. As Ms. Papiano states, I met Naira in 10th grade honors English. I was blown away by her conviction, insight, understanding of nuance and complexity. She has the rare ability to see beyond the surface and to translate her perceptions into complete empathy. Naira is smart and witty and can easily laugh at herself. If I wanted to get a young person's perspective on anything, I would seek out Naira for her candor and overall awareness of people and their emotions. I will miss those conversations, and I will miss Naira.
Herson Cisneros Campos, nominated by Mr. Bearline and Mr. Toohey. Mr. Toohey writes, Herson is a true wildcat. He has been a key member of the varsity soccer and wrestling programs during his time here. A reserved person by nature, Herson comes alive with school spirit as evidenced on game days when everyone in the school can see him proudly wear the maroon and white through the halls and rallying the student body. Herson is a natural leader and is truly deserving of the Michael Curtin Award.
Allison Clark, nominated by Ms. Hirsch-Beckman and Mrs. Hanovich. According to Mrs. Hanovich, Allison is a true model of leadership, diligence, and kindness. She's continually impressed by Allie's maturity and initiative. She approaches situations with a type of grace and easily relates to peers and teachers. Organizing the Forever Walk is a clear example of Allie's contributions to Whitman and the entire community. She's a positive role model with a sunny, kind, and patient disposition.
William Collins, nominated by Mr. Pipolo and Mr. Toohey. Mr. Pipolo writes, Billy Diligent is a kind, intelligent, and humorous poet and musician. He's generous with his gifts and his time. I've enjoyed spending time with Billy both in the classroom and on stage for 4 years of Mercy and Xanadu benefit concerts. While sharing his considerable talents, he also celebrates and supports his peers. William is a good human being.
Sarah Crepenzano, nominated by Mr. Pipolo. Mr. Pipolo writes, Sarah is a very gifted musician. From her first performance 4 years ago, she impressed me with her confidence and talent, which have only increased over time. She is a poet with a raw edge and self-reflective honesty. Sarah always remains sincere and humble.
Carly Dammer, nominated by Ms. Turner. Carly has been part of the Whitman dance program for 4 years, and in that time she has always helped her classmates and myself in any way she could. Carly's willingness to go above and beyond the confines of the classroom has been much appreciated. She's fabulous and will be greatly missed.
Adriana Di Bartolomeo, nominated by Ms. Priscilla Ramirez. Adriana has been a Latino Heritage Club member since she was a freshman, dedicating her time, efforts, and her heart to the club, this year as president. Adriana helps all students feel welcome. She spends her study hall, lunch, and free time helping ENL teachers and encouraging students to become more involved in the Whitman family. Her generous and sweet character inspire confidence and truly have changed many students' lives. Adriana wants to pursue a career as an ENL teacher. Her charisma and dedication to help will definitely bring her success.
Tatiana Dotto, nominated by Ms. Tanucci and Mr. Miranda. Ms. Tanucci writes, Tati has been an active member of the National Art Honor Society over the past 4 years and currently holds the position of vice president. She is loyal, eager to assist in any capacity, and has shown the ability to work with all officers as a team player. She has successfully organized and run meetings alongside and in the absence of the president. She is a student that I have relied on, who can communicate and get things accomplished.
Well, first I'd like to thank the administration, all the faculty members, the guidance counselors, the staff, everybody who went into creating this award for our students. It really means a lot to me, and the most important people to thank are you guys. Thank you guys for all that you do. It's really come out this year because when you're not around something, you know how much you miss it. And when Mr. Vilamos contacted me about speaking about what I thought citizenship was, it's everything that you guys are. It's everything that you've shown Walt Whitman to be. We're such a great community, we're such a diverse community, and it means so much to me to know that you guys are citizens, that you guys are what makes the community. That to me is the definition of citizenship. I miss you guys and I wish you the best. Hope to see you soon, guys.
Anna Edwards, nominated by Mr. Farrell and Mr. Dennis Callahan. Mr. Dennis Callahan writes, Anna was a participant on our trip to Italy. She helped plan and organize activities both prior to and during the trip. She fostered relationships with students from other schools in our tour group and has maintained lasting friendships with them. She is the true definition of citizenship.
Samantha Francois, nominated by Ms. Raji, Mr. Donlin, and Mr. Murphy. Mr. Donlin writes, Sam is a wonderful individual, respected by peers and faculty alike. I had the pleasure of having Samantha as a student and getting to know her personally over the last 2 years. From our discussions, it is clear that she takes her natural helper responsibilities to heart.
Makai Gilbert, nominated by Mr. Schmidt and Mr. Rogers. According to Mr. Rogers, Makai is one of the most genuine students. He is honorable, trustworthy, and such a nice person. He thinks about and takes care of others. If he was getting an egg sandwich before school, he would make sure every person in the class was asked and would get them all egg sandwiches or bagels. Not many students would think of others like that. Makai gives me hope for our future because people like him exist.
Amelia Hatton, nominated by Mr. Miranda. Mr. Miranda says, an all-around great person. Amelia is a kind and compassionate towards her peers. She was a pleasure to have as a student, and Mr. Miranda has no doubt that she will make a positive difference in the world, and she is extremely deserving of this award.
Brian Hauser, nominated by Mr. Bearline, who writes, in the short time I got to know Brian, 2 things stand out: his hard work and his just being a nice guy. When Brian didn't understand something, he would ask about it in the most polite way and would always thank you for the help. He just appreciated what you did for him, but he also worked very hard to reach his potential, and that desire to work hard will take Brian very far.
Kimberly Hoppy, nominated by Ms. Radin. Ms. Radin writes, Kimmy's participation in the Whitman Dance Program has been inspiring. Her talent, positivity, creativity, and boundless energy always raise the level of performance of the group and make the process a pleasure. She's fabulous.
Nimra Ishtiaq, nominated by Ms. DePel and Mr. Schmidt. According to Ms. DePel, Nimra has made an impression. She was such an integral member of her class. She made sure she started and added to class discussions and has continued to maintain contact throughout this unfortunate time. She and Ms. DePel have been supports for each other as they both dealt with family members with COVID-19. Nimra has a strong, pleasant personality. She is diligent with regard to her work in and outside of school, and she is an all-around caring person.
Andy Jiang, nominated by Mr. Schmidt. Mr. Schmidt states, Andy is a very responsible and mature young man. He always completed his assignments and prepared thoroughly for class. He is an excellent role model through his work habits and participation. He was always a vital member of any group he took part in, sharing his knowledge. Andy is also a compassionate and generous person who truly appreciates the efforts of his teachers. His good nature could easily tell if I was having a bad day, and without hesitation would call me out for an energizing hug in front of the whole class. His heart is huge. He is an active member of the school and contributes in many positive ways. Andy is a superb individual and is very deserving of this honor.
Leah Khan, nominated by Mr. Farrell and Ms. Papiano. Mr. Farrell writes, Leah is an extremely caring and compassionate young lady who treats all of her classmates with kindness and respect. I cannot say enough good things about this young woman other than that she fits the criteria of this award perfectly.
Hello everyone. I've been asked to say a few words to you, the wonderful students and recipients of the Michael S. Curtin Award. This award is presented to those students who brighten everyone's day with their selfless nature and altruistic efforts. I'd like to start with a quote by Helen Keller, who also knew a lot about being selfless. She stated, "Life is an exciting business, and most exciting when it is lived for others." You have all been selected for this award because the people that nominated you all believe that Walt Whitman High School and the South Huntington community have benefited so much by your selfless personalities and giving nature. Each day, whether you knew it or not, you've lived for others by helping to contribute to the positive and caring atmosphere we strive for at Walt Whitman High School. You've done nothing less than to make this learning community a more loving and special place now than when you entered 4 years ago. For that, we are all grateful. I leave you with one last quote from one of my favorite childhood authors, Robert Louis Stevenson, and I believe that it epitomizes all that you've done here. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. I wish you all the best.
Ronnie Lane, nominated by Miss Hilly Carboni. Miss Hilly Carboni states, Ronnie is an all-around good person. He is quiet and a hard worker. He takes pride in his work and in the fact that he completes assignments on his own with little help. He's never late. He arrives to class each day with a smile and is extremely sweet. He has a strong desire to do well and be recognized by his teachers and classmates.
Tamia Lewis, nominated by Mr. Pipolo, who writes, Tamia is a very talented poet. Although I've only known her for a brief time, she has truly touched me. She is a writer and a thinker. I love how she always is willing to offer insights and reactions to her fellow poets. Her poems are consistently powerful and honest. I will miss her creativity and her smarts. I hope she will continue to write for the rest of her life.
Raquel Litt, nominated by Mr. Bearline. Mr. Bearline states, Raquel is one of those students who would just brighten up a classroom when she walked in. Her smile and positive attitude made it fun to teach every day. This should not overshadow her academic achievement. She proved to be a solid student who worked to the highest level. Congratulations on a great year, Raquel, and good luck.
Paige Mayer, nominated by Mr. Farrell, who writes, Paige is an extremely caring and compassionate young lady who treats all of her classmates with kindness and respect. I have had her in class for 2 consecutive years and cannot say enough good things about this young woman. She perfectly fits the criteria of the Michael Curtin Award.
Angie Mejia Lopez, nominated by Mr. Pipolo, Ms. Canaris, and Ms. Moss. Ms. Canaris writes, Angie has always been a wonderful student who tries to give back to the Whitman community. She has helped through Whitman's Latino Heritage Club and always tries to help E&L students, as she was once an English language learner herself.
Nicole Mendoza, nominated by Mr. Mosia. Mr. Mosia writes, Nicole is a great person who gets along with all. She's a responsible, reliable, and hardworking student. Nicole is a great teammate who, even after a season-ending injury, continued to attend practices and games to encourage her teammates. She has a great attitude and sense of humor and always had a smile on her face, resulting in a great rapport with teammates and coaches.
Gabriella Minjan, nominated by Ms. Zamow. Ms. Zamow writes, as a student in my class for 2 years, Gabriella was a hardworking, smart, and reliable student. Above all else, she was naturally talented in the area of working with children. She continued to attend class after completion to remain active with the Little Wildcats program. Gabriella was always there to help with a smile, and the children adored her. She is a natural teacher and a pleasure to work with. I am going to miss her a great deal.
Dean Marissis, nominated by Mrs. Stuber. Dean has been a constant superstar in the business program, showing leadership, creativity, and dedication. This year, he was part of the winning business plan presentation team, and without Dean's contributions, the team would not have succeeded in competition. I strongly believe that Dean is deserving of this award.
Stephen Mora, nominated by Mr. Toohey. Stephen entered Whitman as a shy teenager and is leaving us as a confident, mature young man, Mr. Toohey states. He has watched Stephen throughout this process, and it makes him proud to have been a small part in his personal growth. Stephen is one of the hardest working students. He is always challenging himself academically and has set his sights on a career in public health and medicine. Stephen is worthy of this award, and I am sure, and Mr. Toohey is sure that he will go on to do great things with his life and career.
Good evening. My name is Kimberly Latko, and I'm representing the English department tonight. I'd like to thank you for inviting me to say a few words to you and congratulate the seniors. The Michael Curtin Awards were established to honor the life and dedication of Michael Curtin, who gave his life to save others on September 11th, like my friend Jim Riley. And perhaps there is no better time than now, amidst this global pandemic, to pause and acknowledge the character and qualities of women and men like Sergeant Curtin. It is that level of commitment to others that we see today, mirrored by the frontline workers and first responders who are caring for us during this COVID-19 crisis. I know that every young woman and man honored here today may not graduate into a career that invites him or her to run courageously into a catastrophic situation. However, we can certainly all take this moment here in 2020 to recognize the value of commitment to community, the importance of dedication to one another. In the face of danger like Sergeant Curtin, yes, but also in the struggles of daily life. Definitely yes. The students honored tonight represent that commitment and that love of community. They have treated their South Huntington Walt Whitman community like family. And I am confident that they will take that grassroots training that we celebrate with this award and grow beyond the walls of this high school and certainly beyond the limits of this pandemic. I am excited to watch them become the dedicated leaders that our country, communities, friends, loved ones, and even strangers need. I am so proud of you, seniors of 2020. You are the class that endures.
Timur Nawaz, nominated by Mr. Schmidt, who writes, Timur is well liked by his teachers and classmates. He has a charming and friendly demeanor, which makes any classroom environment more enjoyable. He is very involved in school through various activities. Timur enjoys performing in the music program and possesses a beautiful singing voice. I have also enjoyed his performances in school productions with his talented acting and singing. In class, he is fearless and learns through trial and error in his thought process. He is very approachable and helpful to others and serves as a good role model. He takes an interest in the people around him and cares about them. Timur is a fine young man and very deserving of this honor.
Christopher Newman, nominated by Ms. Bolger, Mr. Miranda, and Ms. Labella. Ms. Bolger writes, I had Chris as a freshman, junior, and senior. I cannot express what an amazing person he is. Polite, hardworking, a born leader, he wants to serve his country. His attitude is always positive, inclusive, and kind.
Peter Nicolino, nominated by Mr. Schmidt, who writes, Peter is well respected by his peers and teachers. He is highly amicable and always enters a room with good energy. Very involved in the culture of the school through many activities and events. He is a responsible student and a good role model for his classmates. Peter is full of spirit for his school and motivates others to be as well. His participation in class always added to the friendly environment we created. Peter is a fine young man and very deserving of this honor.
Kevin Ochoa, nominated by Mr. Milazzo. Mr. Milazzo writes, I have come to know Kevin as a student, an athlete, and natural helper, and in each one of these roles, he has been the true definition of a leader and the ultimate team player. Kevin has become a role model at Whitman. He's extremely successful in the classroom, on the football field, and in the community. As a football player, he was the one of the heart and soul members of our program, leading by example through dedication, determination, and intensity. He battled a season-ending injury to make it back and finish both football seasons, and was an integral part of a homecoming win and playoff appearance in his junior year. I am so proud of the player, and more importantly, the person that Kevin has become. Whitman will miss such a quality young man.
Carly O'Riordan, nominated by Mr. Layer. Mr. Layer writes, Carly is a focused student who not only self-reflects on her learning, but also recognizes her strengths. She is ambitious, well-mannered, and self-motivated. Carly adds to the class discussion by participating constructively. She is a pleasure to have in class and has been a positive influence on her peers within the classroom.
Thomas Palladino, nominated by Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers states, I have come to know Thomas through the robotics program, and above all else, he has always been one of the most dependable, hardworking, thoughtful, critical thinking, and dedicated members. I have spent so many hours with this young man watching him grow up from a quiet freshman to a senior who finally came out of his shell to speak his mind. He worked his way into the hierarchy of the program. I am so very proud of all that he has achieved and that he will achieve. I look forward to welcoming him back as a mentor as Thomas has become family. In the robotics program, we have a saying, relationships forged over aluminum, family built for life. He embodies this saying and he bleeds RoboCat and Whitman pride.
Emily Perez, nominated by Mr. Farrell and Mr. Miranda. Mr. Miranda writes, Emily is a genuinely good and decent person. She is mature, responsible, and respectful. She is a class act and model student for her peers.
Michelle Perozzi, nominated by Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers writes, Michelle was a hard worker even when she was competing in gymnastics. She had an extremely busy schedule which did not stop her from still doing her best and going the extra mile when needed. She will accomplish great things in her future.
James Polk, nominated by Ms. Langhorst Zamow. James participated regularly in raising money for the entire senior class. He has demonstrated both leadership and a great sense of humor at Senior Follies. James contributes a great deal to not only his class, but also to the overall school spirit at Walt Whitman.
Giselle Portillo Umana, nominated by Miss Forrester. Miss Forrester writes, Giselle started as a quiet freshman who struggled a bit academically. She has blossomed into an amazing student and young woman. She jumped right into joining Whitman and all it had to offer. She participated in track and attended and participated in many other events. She even desired to be the school mascot and sought Mr. Murphy out to do it. She truly embodies the spirit of this school.
Michaela Riley, nominated by Mr. Bearline, Mrs. Moss, Ms. Radin, and Mr. Schmidt. Mrs. Moss writes, Michaela's deep compassion for others and inherent genuineness truly shines. She helps the underdog and lives her life giving back to her community. Michaela has an authentic sense of compassion and humanitarianism. Her vast multitasking skills are supreme.
Isabella Rumbaldi, nominated by Mr. Bearline and Mr. Rogers. Mr. Bearline writes, even though he only got to know Bella for a short time, she has proven to be a quiet, hard worker who just gets the job done. She is mature beyond her years and consistently gets her assignments done and done really well. Bella has a drive to do things on her own, with little help, and is to be commended for her diligence.
Nicholas Rose, nominated by Mr. Wilson. I have known Nick since the 9th grade. He always says hello in the morning and was easy to talk to. Nick is a pleasure to be around. These traits will serve him well in all of his future endeavors. Congratulations, Nick.
Hi, this is Mrs. Cardillo, Spanish teacher. Just want to say that I am proud of all of you that were nominated and are receiving the Michael S. Curtin Citizenship Award. He was a lovely man that was a security guard in our building, and I'm glad that he is remembered every year by you, people like you that are outstanding citizens in our school community. Things you do in school, outside of school, your kindness, respectfulness, your willing to help others, your willingness to follow school rules, all of that is being recognized right now. And not everybody does the right thing, but all of you have been nominated for one reason or another from your teachers, and it says a lot. Going forward, being a good citizen is going to help you in all facets of life. So I'm very proud to have nominated some of you and to have taught some of you or known you for one reason or another, and I just want to say congratulations to all of you, and good luck to you in the future. Take care.
Chloe Rosenfeld, nominated by Ms. Hirsch-Beckman and Mr. Wolf. Ms. Hirsch-Beckman writes, Chloe's growth as a student and human has been nothing short of extraordinary. Ms. Beckman sees a real potential in this young woman. She has the heart of gold and does anything to see people smile. Once Chloe realized her true potential as a citizen of the school and a participant in class, there was no stopping her. She worked relentlessly to improve her grades. Chloe helped raise thousands of dollars for mental health awareness, helped make Awareness Week at Whitman a success, and has been a huge influence on our ambassadors program.
Jacelyn Rutolo, nominated by Mr. Pipolo. Mr. Pipolo writes, Jacelyn is a remarkable writer. In the far too brief time we spent together in creative writing, she knocked me out with her bold, genuine, and sophisticated poetic voice. She shares all of herself and is very helpful to her peers. Only a junior in a class of very talented senior writers, Jacelyn did not let this intimidate her nor inhibit her participation. Just the opposite. The class truly appreciated her creations.
Yamim Sanchez Argueta, nominated by Miss Anita Ramirez. Yamim was a student for only 1 year. Throughout that entire year, she was a pleasant, diligent, involved, and helpful, and always respectful to me and all her other classmates. I think I can speak for several of us when I say that her wide smile and easygoing nature played a big role in creating an optimal learning environment, sometimes rare in an 8th period class. Yamim participated in class discussions with eagerness, and her thoughtful comments often carried ideas to the next level. I am so proud of Yamim for continuing to work hard this year and for earning her high school diploma. She is a special young woman, and I know whoever she meets in the future will be grateful to know her.
Julia Seitz, nominated by Mrs. Leza, Ms. Latko, Ms. Henselder, and Ms. Zamow. According to Mrs. Latko, Julia is a compassionate, considerate, sincere young woman and has grown in incredible ways. I am proud of her and look forward to great things from her in the future.
Danielle Shaneberger, nominated by Mr. Mosia and Mr. Wolf. Mr. Wolf writes, Danielle has always looked out for her classmates. She bravely takes the necessary steps to take care of her friends. Always.
Ja Ki Shi, nominated by Mr. Lair. Ja is an ambitious, well-mannered, and self-motivated individual who works to his potential. He participates constructively and can adapt to any setting as he works well independently or in a group. Ja takes initiative to teach others around him. He has been a pleasure to have in class and has the maturity and work ethic to succeed in the future.
Ariba Siddiqui, nominated by Mr. Schmidt. He states Ariba is well liked and respected by her classmates and teachers. She is an intelligent student and helps lead class with her participation. She was always active when helping classmates in alternative group instruction or in small group activities. Ariba is very involved with the school's color guard and dedicates much of her time towards practicing and performing. She is a mature young lady and a good role model. Ariba is very deserving of this honor.
Rachel Smith, nominated by Mr. Yolongo. According to Mr. Yolongo, Rachel goes above and beyond with everything that she does, and she volunteers for everything. She is a very kind person who is friendly to everyone. Rachel actively participated in many school events this year, such as Powder Puff, Follies, and Girls Sports Night. She has a ton of school spirit. Rachel is a prime candidate for this prestigious award.
Jeffrey Sordo, nominated by Ms. Tara Woods. Ms. Woods writes, when I saw Jeffrey's name on the nomination list, I only wanted to nominate him, no one else. I know of no other student more deserving of this award. This young man has lived a difficult life. Many young people could take difficulty as an opportunity to slack. However, Jeffrey did everything he possibly could to rise above. He would come to extra help with me in the morning and during lunch. He would complete all assignments and always do his best. Jeffrey was also an amazing lacrosse and football player. When times continued to get even more difficult at home, he quit the team to get an additional job to help support his family. He has always gone above and beyond for his family while trying to improve himself. Again, he is, hands down, the best candidate for this award.
I think of citizenship in a more of a humanistic way. I'm not really thinking about it, as far as a member of a taxable member of a society. I think it's way more hopeful than that. I think a citizen is a hopeful creature. It's a human being who believes in a just and loving society and thus behaves that way. Someone with personal responsibility and personal self-respect. Someone who loves people and has a deep expectation to be loved. Someone with a sense of humor. Have to have empathy, have to have compassion, have to be forgiving, flexible, participatory. Know your know your part. Know other people's parts. Bob Dylan said, to live outside the law, you must be honest. And that's an interesting way to think about citizenship. Yes, you need to pay attention to the laws and be a part of a society, but you need to trust yourself. You need to be honest to yourself if you're going to be honest to a society. Yeah, you look in towards the center of society and respect those around you, but at the same time, you're always looking inward too. Know your role. Treat everyone and everything as a very important and essential part of the big picture. Even strangers. A stranger belongs somewhere. Citizen is a human that is very alive, sensitive. What else can I say? Thank you.
James Stanton, nominated by Mr. Wolf, Mr. Barlamos, Ms. Hirsch-Beckman, and Mr. Malazzo. According to Ms. Hirsch-Beckman, James never looks for a thank you. He's the type of person who does things for people unselfishly. He makes sure that they get what they need, makes it anonymous, and never looks for praise. He has influenced people here without them even knowing it. He is a true leader in his own right.
Elvira Taku, nominated by Ms. Lacco, Ms. Radin, and Ms. Papiano. Ms. Papiano writes, Elvira is a generous spirit, politically conscious sensibilities, and personal and global awareness. Deeply concerned about society, she wants to make the world better. We will miss your energy, Elvira, but the world needs you. Go out there and help create the changes we desperately need, Ms. Papiano states.
Sage Thomas, nominated by Mr. Fallon. Sage is an extremely caring and intelligent young lady who treats all of her classmates with kindness and respect. Sage epitomizes the criteria for this award and displayed it each and every day in the halls of Whitman.
Marjorie Valderez, nominated by Mr. Trebor. Mr. Trebor says, for 2 years in my English class, Marjorie not only exhibited the characteristics of a successful student, but she demonstrated that she values family, friendship, and treating others with respect. She is the perfect recipient for a citizenship award.
Alan Veliz Carrillo, nominated by Mr. Dennis Callahan. Alan was a student in my AP Spanish class. In addition to his academic excellence, he scored a 5 on the exam. He brought a sense of humor and unique view to the world, to each topic we discussed in class. No matter how dry the subject matter, Alan could always find a way to make us laugh. His ability to foster human connection and sheer joy is a talent that most of us can only aspire to achieve.
Jonathan Villatoro, nominated by Mr. Conroy. Jonathan has been a dedicated member of the Whitman boys track team and consistently displays a great work ethic. John always tried to learn as much as he could about shot put, his main event. His attendance and consistency were exemplary.
Belkin Valorio, nominated by Mr. Dennis Callahan, who writes, Belkin excelled in my AP Spanish class. In addition to her academic excellence, she got a 5 on the exam. She was open and honest about some personal situations as it related to the subject matter. This helped make the material more accessible and enjoyable for other students. She is a true role model. Mr. Callahan considers himself privileged to have had the honor of being her instructor.
Ahmad Zadran, nominated by Mr. Layer. He states, I've had the pleasure of having Ahmad as a student twice. He is a bright young man who always works to his full potential. Ahmad cares about his academics and is always looking for a way to improve his grades. Ahmad's work ethic will certainly bring him future success.
Riley Zalbert, nominated by Mrs. Moss. Riley has always been a remarkable member of the Whitman community. His most notable attribute is his unrelenting determination. This young man is truly one of the most resilient and optimistic students I have had the pleasure of working with in my years as a school counselor. Riley is an exceptional, kind, and considerate soul. Best of luck to him next year.
Enki Zhao, nominated by Mr. Conroy and Ms. Zamow. Ms. Zamow writes, Enki was truly one of the hardest working, conscientious students she's ever had. She is resourceful, cheerful, and a pleasure to work with. Ms. Zamow wishes her much success in the future.
Hello, Walt Whitman seniors. I'm honored to be able to speak to you today about your role as a Walt Whitman Class of 2020 student leader. It is hard to believe these 4 years have gone by so quickly as we watched you grow to be such responsible and civic-minded young adults ready to take on the world. It is my continued hope that you take what you have learned here at our South Huntington schools and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. While your senior year took a drastic turn that is unprecedented, I look forward to hearing all about your future accolades and honors that are on the horizon. Please remember that Walt Whitman High School and the entire South Huntington school community will always be your home. Thank you.
The Curtin Awards are always one of my favorite nights of the year because it enables us to recognize the accomplishments of a very special kind of person. I'm speaking specifically of someone that has those magic ingredients of empathy, kindness, service, and a genuine compassion for others. When you think about what the Curtin Awards represent, they represent the better angels in our souls. They represent the things about us as human beings that make us successful, that make us quality individuals in our lives. I read through some of the things that you've all accomplished, and I think about the tremendous good, the paying it forward, the ripple effects that you're going to create in our community, in our state, and in our country. You're individuals that seem to have it figured out, that seem to know how to live for others, and that seem to understand that this thing we call life is a special journey where you have an opportunity to improve the day of someone else. So thank you for doing that. Keep improving those days for other people, and you'll find that your life gets pretty special as you do it. So thank you so much for all you do, and congratulations on what I consider one of our most special awards.
So once again, thank you so much for spending the time with us, for us to acknowledge these wonderful students. And like I said at the beginning of this award ceremony, we will miss each and every one of these students and what they've done to make Walt Whitman High School such a wonderful place to live and work and go to school. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you at our next virtual award ceremony. Reminder, tomorrow is our Mercy Benefit Concert. We hope to see you there. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we miss you all at Walt Whitman High School.